amazing evening, Nigerians. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Updates with Precious. Another beautiful day to bring on an update of things really happened for Nigerians. Sincere apologies for starting this late, but it's going to be a very quick update because I just want us to interact on things that's going on in Nigeria. And of course, one of those, now the very sad video this morning we come out, we show where Boko Haram people or terrorists they show Nigerians, so if they say they abduct from Kwara State, from that Woro village, when it be said they massacre almost 170 people, and they show saying that 176 people, 9 then kidnap. And they come they talk say, hey, our government they lie, our government gets mine, they lie, say waiting them kidnap, no reach anything. Meanwhile, this now the number of people who kidnap. And it's just so embarrassing, to have bandits even fact, sorry, terrorists even fact checking our government. So you can imagine the situation where you don't retrieve, they say, now terrorists, the facts, check our government, say within our government, they talk, now lie or not true. It's very sad. And that's not part of the things we will talk about. Plus, see, people don't they blast our President Bola Tinubu. So with all of this drama they play out for inside your country, with terrorists, they dare you for the number of people we visit and kidnap and they call you a liar. But what are you doing instead? You're going to party in a in Kebbi State and the Argungu festival that is going on there. And people say that the best thing to do at this time. Meanwhile, the presidential candidates of the Labour Party for the 2023 election, Peter Obi, don't they talk very tough? Why they talk, say this time around, nobody will ever rig any election. Because if you rig, what's going to happen to you? Any voter counts, they will count your head, put inside the voting. Well, let me quickly run you through the headlines of the conversations very quickly. Boko Haram terrorists parade over 100 abducted victims in Kwara community, accused Nigerian government of propaganda. Say Nigerian government who wanna to do propaganda. Tinubu government targeting opposition, shielding APC members, ADC chieftain Kalgo alleges. And then Kwara government react to bandits video clip on abductees. Yeah. Okay, so now government now they respond to terrorists and waiting them talk. 2027 North no longer like Tinubu, ADC chieftain Kalgo. Now they talk this one. North no longer like Tinubu. North no longer like Tinubu, ADC chieftain. Now they talk this one. And an attempted arrest. Erofai will be free if he joins APC. The same Kalgo now they talk. He said the same day APC now. You therefore not remember whether he do anything bad. No matter what he do, the eye could just blind for waiting into. And meanwhile, NNPP Kano urges Tinubu to remove INEC chairman. Somebody then come out of Amopiton chairman, INEC chairman. 2027 elections before Ramadan violate regulations. Akin Labin wants INEC, offers only solution. And then South African police arrest woman over killing of Nigerian e-hailing driver. We're working with Boro leaders to identify kidnapped victims paraded by terrorists. Kwara government. Is it not shameful? Shameful that after almost 2 weeks of this incident, and I don't even know the number of people we be seen kidnapped. When they talk, so they work with them not to know. Is it not shameful? Well, UK court convicts Imam Abdul Halim Khan of raping 12-year-old girls. Yeah. Tinubu graces Argungu Fishing Festival, and of course, get a nice time there. Abia's transformation under Governor Oti is real and visible. He achieved it in just 2 years, says Minister of Defense Christopher Musa, as he hail Governor Oti. Genocide. UK journalist David Patrikarakos exposes massacres of Nigerian Christians in Plateau, says churches burned, families slaughtered by Fulani terrorists. And so the UK journalists they talk. We will count you. We will count anyone who refuses to count our votes in the 2027 general election. Peter Obi declares war on election rigging. Now, UN Secretary General Guterres demands permanent seat for Africa at Security Council. And then crisis in Port Harcourt, River State, as one killed as many Hausa traders. Clash. One killed. Let's see that incident again. One killed as Benue and Hausa traders clash in Port Harcourt, River State. Now, Amnesty International calls for independent probe of activities of activists that the Yatta's disappearance. So you're not going to probe them independently. No, whether Ganduji they talk the truth. I've been Boga Erofai they talk the truth. So no could just know who they talk truth here. Now, so no going to do the probing sharp. They could know who will hold responsible for the disappearance of the Yati. Now, ruling APC accused of turning ICT center in Kebbi State to party secretariat. Actually, an ICT center but they don't turn that place to party secretariat because now then be the government of the state. Okay, alternative 7. Anyone who refuses to count our vote will count him along, says Peter Obi. And ranching in Kwara, Yoruba Union accuses Tinubu of handing over Yoruba land to Fulani extremists. I did tell you earlier today when I had the live that the federal government is looking at ranching to curb the menace of banditry attacks, waiting them then call banditry attacks for Kwara states. So now I come to ask the question, say, I bet now which person land then when you do the ranching? I bet not could I know vex. Again, I ask, what do they call a malu rearing or cattle rearing? Is it a private business or a personal or government business? If it's a private business, why they no for use their hand provide their own land for their private businesses? Why not government go collect land from the state to use do ranching for them? Now the same way government go collect land do spare parts markets for free for the Igbo trader, or perhaps give cocoa farming for Yoruba people for free. This is really crazy, you know. But all of these are not conversations we'll be having. But at the meantime, let's go straight to our president. I mean, we'll have to talk about our president grazing the revered Arugungu Festival as India for the festival right now. So the Arugungu Festival or Fishing Festival or Arugungu Dance Festival is an annual 4-day festival in Kebbi State and other northern states like Niger State and the northern western, not central, parts of northern Nigeria. Now the region is made up of Tar River areas of Matafanda, Mala, with which irrigation and orchards, helps to make the festival very, very fanciful. Fanciful rather. So the event held today. I think today was day 2 of the event. I think so. And then President Bola Tinubu attended the event. So today, Saturday, graced the 61st Arugungu International Festival in Kebbi State. President Tinubu did. Now, Sunday Dare, spokesperson to the president, on Twitter announced Mr. Tinubu's arrival at the festival on Saturday. Make a look whether we even get that arrival image, because the president, of course, was welcomed, with fanfare as usual, because he cannot be our president if there is no fanfare in welcoming him. Thank God is even our president for welcoming with fanfare. That's what people are saying. Okay, honorables off your mic. This time around, it is not shade that we're welcoming with fanfare. It is the president. I mean, he deserves all that. Serene that comes with welcoming the president. But quickly on, he said, bringing KB Arugungu is ready for President Bola Tinubu. A festival such as the Arugungu Festival with international color and originality must be developed to rank among the most celebrated in the world. It delights to see many tourists around Arugungu as the president arrives. Naso Ibisi Sunday Diary Post. Let me quickly show you a video of the president being welcomed from his flight.
Come and take picture with Baba. Go and take picture. Yeah.
One.
Sorry.
Make it be like say I just I'm not sure you evidence. Pressures I said this. It has a president there.
We will give them.
Okay, so I mean that was all the ceremony. All right, so just to let you in on, a few of the things that happened during that event today. But that's not all, because the event was, of course, marked with lots of beautiful sights. Now, let me just play.
So I want the wuri kuma ya bada umarni a ci gaba da su a cikin wannan ruwa na matan fata. Muna fatan Allah sa a yi lafiya a ƙari lafiya, kuma Allah ya ba mu nasara. Masunta a shiga ruwa a ci gaba da su kamar yadda muke gani ga wani ma a halin yanzu har ya kamo babban kifi. An fara fitowa da kifaye manya-manya.
Your Excellency.
Da an kawo kifi aka baka tan ɗinka sai ka koma da Allah, koma kifi.
Your Excellency, our special guest of honor, this is almost unbelievable that you could just dive into this river, and the custodian of this river, as you see, is the Emir of Argungu, His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Ismaila Mohammed Mira CON.
All right, so the president himself has also, released a statement to the press following the festival. Make I read this in the president talk. He does say, "Oh, today in Argungu, I witnessed more than a festival. I witnessed a people reclaiming their peace. The 61st Argungu International Festival and Cultural Festival is a proof that stability is gradually returning, that normalcy is taking root, and that our investment in security are yielding results." President Joe, you don't go fit talk when you know yourself. I make you president. You're a pure marketer. In fact, that accounting said when you read it's supposed to be marketing because it's a big marketer. So when I make a like a president, he gets sweet mouth die. So just one thing we talk now. You don't drop lyrics about how in work they go on. Okay. So say the fact that the festival could hold shows that that means his effort in security is working. You know, see, he said over 50,000 fishermen gathered at Martin Father Cultural Flourished competition, community celebrated without fear. Now, this is not accident. It is the product of coordinated security efforts, intelligent work, and community partnership. We will win. The fight against insecurity. Our farmers, fishermen, traders, and families must live and work in safety. Argungu is also a reminder that culture is commerce, tourism is opportunity, agriculture is prosperity. Now, we will continue to support Kebbi State and every state committed to food security, rural development, youth empowerment, and infrastructural growth. Nigeria is moving towards peace by peace, harvest by harvest, community by community. Renewed hope is alive in Argungu. That's so our president posted. And Nigerians are very, very excited because when inside the festival, number 1, 2, and 3 fish will go to Mr. President and waiting to say and Her Excellency Tinubu to use in making your special meal, making your special meal this evening. That now waiting they talk. So I mean the person will win the fishing festival. Biggest fish at the Argungu International Festival weighed I think 59 kg. And the winner gets 1 million cash prize and 2 cars. 1 million naira cash prize and 2 cars. And he win the winning fish na 59 kg na BC weigh. And this was welcomed with I think the fisherman when with him named Abubakar Usman from Mayama local government area. He recorded the largest catch with I think his own fish even the day his fish was that 59 kilogram of fish it was large. Now waiting ABC in and it's beautiful. So it's really interesting to see Nigerians celebrate like this for waiting we know say we sabi. Look at this. Now this not be saying a Boko Haram will attack. I know someone will see crowd of people they go like that, but they say, they don't come or they don't attack people. No, that actually crowd of fishermen who they rush into the river to dive in to begin catch their fish. And that's typical of how the Argungu festival they always do. And this is one of the things we people they talk about, say, this festival it make a lot of sense. But let me just
sama da masunta 40,000 ne za su fafata a cikin wannan ruwa yanzu kuma an riga an ba ku dama masunta bismillah masunta bismillah homa ruwa masunta homa ruwa muna godiya da babban bako mai girma wanda yake tuni ya iso a wannan wuri kuma ya ba da umarni a ci gaba da su a cikin wannan ruwa na matan fata. Muna fatan Allah sa a yi lafiya a ƙarin lafiya kuma Allah ya ba mu nasara. Masunta a shiga ruwa a ci gaba da su. Kamar yadda muke gani ga wani ma a halin yanzu har ya kamo babban kifi. An fara fitowa da kifaye manya-manya.
Your Excellency,
Da an kawo kifi aka baka tap ɗinka sai ka koma da Allah koma kifi.
Your Excellency, our special guest of honor, this is almost unbelievable that you could just dive into this river, and the custodian of this river, as you see, is the Emir of Argungu, His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Ismail Mohammed Mera CON. It's good to know that they don't fish, it is prohibited for anybody to fish in this river until it is time for the fishing festival. The governor can even tell you more about how it happens. And so the Emir, and along with his Council of Chiefs and members of the Emirates, do not allow fishing in this river until it is time for the fishing festival. And you can see what is happening. The fishermen here, Your Excellency, are over 50,000 men and women, all of them all over this river, Rima, and this part of the river is called Gofarmatam Pada. And this is where we are, and you are seeing the sizes of fish that are being caught already. This is almost magical. It can only happen in Argungu, and as it is happening right now before your very eyes. UNESCO in 2016 documented these as an international fishing festival, understood and documented by the United Nations. And this is what we're watching here, Your Excellencies. Please, if you do not block their views, they would like to see how fish are being caught, how the sizes and how they are being weighed, what the sizes are. And this is exactly what you see here. The scales have been here for over centuries, and they keep renewing them because after some time, dust affects the scales. So the governor has done.
So you see how beautiful and historic that is. Now these skills have been there for centuries, and and once the skill then rust, they will change and put a new skill, and then continue again with the festival. After they dive in, once then on your mat, get set. Once they're ready to go, everybody dives in at the same time, gets down into fishing, and then begin to do try to get your catch. And once you get your catch, you rush out to go weigh them, and the first, second, and third winners get prizes. It's just an amazing festival, and we only hope say insecurity will fit allow Nigeria to enjoy so more of this tradition and festivals so we say we they known together.
Some say it is 71, and from the document we have, it tells us that it is 83 years old. Mr. Governor, I hope that is true. Thank you for giving us their goodwill messages.
All right, amazing celebrations. But the catch about the celebration is that instead of people to, they're happy, say, oh, President Bola Tinubu, go help us mark this wonderful festival where they put Nigeria for the eyes of the international world. They push Nigeria to the limelight. So this is a very laudable festival. People now started blasting President Bola Tinubu. Why would you go to such an event? So if you say when they go catch fish, give you and your wife make you carry food for your why you not just say make it kukuma stay back when it be say today of all days, terrorism release a video, very sad video, showing the number of people where be say they kidnapped from Woro community for Kwara State. Now, Woro community, now for that community where be say they just attacked recently, where government say, oh, about 50 something people, 60 something or 70 people now they killed. But where international community and the international community saying about 170 or thereabouts. But the villagers themselves say they passed 200 people where be say they kidnapped for inside their village. That now what's happened for inside Woro community. And as that attack happened, people did, and remember now the same Woro community where we say, when they talk about a church where we say them burn people, burn the church, burn people together with the church, where the Christians and say for now, they know fit ascertain the exact number of Christians where we say died for that attack. And of course, it's the Yoruba community where they made up of both Christians and Muslims. And where the governor of the state, they talk, say, oh, the Muslims died because of their faith, because they refused to the extremist value or the extremist preaching of the terrorists and waiting make their life, then kill them and all that. So this kind of sad events will happen whenever we reach better 2 weeks like this. And when the international community still report about the way people use die anyhow. And people can't they blame President Tinubu, say, these people can't release video. They talk about how they use kill your people, like how they use kidnap the people, because apart from those that they killed, they actually kidnapped a lot of other people. In fact, according to reports, some people say, oh, now only 30 something people now even make I show you evidence. You know, good man, they talk without evidence. Because people call it talk, say, hey, wait a minute. Now be on a government talks saying only 30 something people now be say they kidnap from inside this place. How come it be say terrorists then I didn't even help tell us the exact amount of people will be say they kill or kidnap? See them now. So at least the government talks in 30 something people now be say they kidnap. How come the terrorists they even tell us the actual amount of people will be say they kidnap for inside Nigeria, a Nigerian community? How it be saying that terrorists even tell us, hey, when they laugh, they play, and not be this amount now we kidnap XYZ amount of people. Now make I play you that video for waiting the terrorism they talk. They're gonna listen to them. Although they spoke in house language.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah. Da dai waɗannan mutanen su ne wanda aka kama su a Woro. To yanzu za ku ji yanayin inda aka kama su da kuma yanayin yawan nasu a bakin su. Ya ana aka kama ku? Wace karamar hukuma? Wace jiha ce?
Kwara State.
Kefa, a ina aka kamo ku? Wace karamar hukuma?
Local government.
Wace jiha?
Kwara State.
Nawa ne adadin naku?
176.
Kefa ma mai jan riga, a ina aka kamo ku?
Waro.
Wace karamar hukuma ne?
Local government Kayama.
A wace jiha ne?
Kwara State.
To kun dai ji adadin naku fa?
176.
To kun ji dai gashi gwamnatin naku ta kafurci da ta karya ga tana tayiwa mutane karya, ku ba ku wuce 30 ba ko 20 da wani abu.
All right, so when I don't see that video, we be saying
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah.
They say na Woro, and then they ask them, say, which local government it be that? They say na Kayama local government, and they ask them according to interpretations. I don't speak Hausa, and they ask them, say, Kayama na which state? And talk say na Kwara State. Say you see, meanwhile na government they lie say na just about 34 people now be say we kidnap alongside people who we kill. But we're here to tell you people that your government they do propaganda. That your government they do propaganda. And waiting it be say people they talk. Say your government they do propaganda. So we're here to let you know that your government they do propaganda. Oh, by the way, as this one they happen, Bayo Ononoga posted something where he was talking about El-Rufai, that El-Rufai should be investigated for accepting that they bugged the NSA's phone and all that. This is what he wrote, that El-Rufai confesses to wiretapping Nigeria's NSA on TV. Does it mean that he and his collaborators have a wiretapping facility or wiretapping facilities? And then this should be thoroughly investigated and punishment meted out. El-Rufai is not too big to face the wrath of the law, so he post. But instead of people to react to waiting and talk about that conversation, people can remind us, say, come. Excuse me, sir. You're talking. How about your boss, the president, who will say, Today of all these people post how they use massacre, how they use, apart from killing Nigerians, after killing Nigerians, they even went as far as kidnapping a lot of other people and they parade them. And instead of going to talk about that parade and parade people, or I don't even want to talk about them. Now waiting error fight talk now they talk about. People even posted this to him and said, "Oh, I owe no one apology for ethnic slur against Igbos. Their threat to Yorubas." By no longer that statement he made a long time ago, I think 2023 during the election. And I somebody can say, "If you will, Nigeria, Nigeria, so that they ever stop." So somebody come post them to record and tell them say, if you were made, if you made this kind of statement in the UK, US countries, that the government and rule of law truly works, you should be answering some questions too by now. How would you say such? How you go fit talk say you don't get any excuse for ethnic slur against Igbo people, and then nobody don't hold you accountable. So not be only error where they go hold accountable. But what's most interesting is actually other comments concerning waiting it be say in talk. Instead of them to react to the incident of waiting in talk, they're rather just saying, okay, see what's happening now. Say Boko Haram, see what Boko Haram do to your people. Instead of you to be talking about people who be said and kidnap, you're busy here telling us about Tinubu talk. You see, even Boko Haram is fact checking you and your government. When government talks in 32 people, farmers now they abduct. Government they post, they even put screenshot of the post there. When government saying 32 people now they abduct, but Boko Haram they fact check owner. Then you there, they tell us another thing. And then other comments said, yeah, desperado, whatever it is, that was a thing. All right. And then someone said, a country where Boko Haram is more truthful than government. Hi. That is a country where terrorists, they more truthful. They talk more truth past government. Boko Haram, they fact check Nigerian government. People started throwing this kind of comments back and forth. I'm like, oh goodness me, look on sorry for us for small for this country now. Could it be this kind of attitude? Now we see make it be like say Nigerians they face the kind of things we didn't face for the world generally, because there are things that I thought about today, and I just told myself that it is sad that we are the way we are. Here are more comments that people made about saying stuff. Here are more comments that they made, and it's very painful to see people make this kind of comments. And when somebody they complain about an issue of national security, but instead of us to react to the issue of national security, would they rather call out our government based on their ineptitude, their inefficiencies? The Nigerian government was lying about people where Boko Haram and Boko Haram come make the video to debunk the claim. Kai. Boko Haram dropping receipts to expose government's lies while parading our mothers and children like trophies. Government said only 30 kidnapped terrorists, said watch and see. Country all say actually more than 100 now in kidnap. In fact, they even asked them the number of people they kidnapped and they said 176. So they had counted them and it turned out 176. So see, opposition parties, you guys don't have a lot of work to do, but yet you have a lot of work to do because we're in a very critical situation in our country. And the kind of situation we would be in, it is so embarrassing that I'm trying very hard not to say it the way I feel it, because it's really shameful to be a Nigerian. It is really shameful to be a Nigerian. Because the same way we be say, then they feel say maybe your government they do propaganda, your government they lie, or somebody will carry government official government position they do propaganda and they lie. And the same way we then go to say me and you too they lie. And maybe that's why if you carry Nigerian passport and go abroad and they look at you, they have to look at you like 3 more times. Not because a Ghanaian is better than you, not because a Ghanaian is more truthful than you particularly, but because they feel saying the Ghanaian government actually gets some more semblance of truthfulness and honesty past your government. And that is why they look at you that way. And it's shameful. And something just dawned on me in this country that unfortunately, be like say would be irredeemable. And guess what? One of the reasons why maybe they look us like that, not just be because of say they suspect all of us to be that much of a thief. But because Nigerians have shown themselves that it's not like we actually hate thieves, or it's not like we hate the act of stealing. We just hate the fact that it is not us or our brothers who are stealing. That is just the way it shows. Because waiting they happen for Nigerian social media recently don't show me a few things. That Nigerians will support anybody, even if you're a devil, as long as that person is related to you or you're gaining from that person. If that person perhaps share religious, ethnic background with you, or religious, ethnic affiliation with you, or you they gain from that person, any kind of crime with that person commits not be crime. Even if that person self na demon himself, that person will cease to be a demon. For Nigerians, and I'm sorry, that is the way almost majority of Nigerians dey right now. And it be like saying that the way we be say they don't they see us for other countries. So no matter how bad the person dey, Nigerians go on paint that person to be good as long as the person they are affiliated to them ethnically, religiously, or perhaps in the gain financially. They go paint that person. That person no go do, he not go do any bad for our eye as long as say we they gain one thing from that person. But the same Nigeria, unfortunately, here's the bad part. The same Nigeria would rather call Prophet Muhammad or Jesus Christ a bad name because that person no benefit, that person no get anything where they gain from and from. So no matter how bad you are, no matter how good you are, no matter how honest you are, no matter how sincere you are, no matter the fact that they never see anything wrong with you, that is, there is no receipt to show that indeed you're as much as a criminal as that their brother or sister or uncle or somebody who is affiliated to them. No matter how honest you are, as long as you know from their ethnic group, you know from not share the same religion with them, they need to gain anything from you. They cannot see you as a sincere person. And that is also being insincere. So that is why people from abroad, everybody will see us as very insincere people. That is why everybody will see us as people where they insincere, like people will not get sincerity. Because either ways, our sincerity only is conditional based on what we get to gain from them. And that's very sad. That now the eye where they look Nigeria for the Committee of Nations, they use look Nigerians. It is very sad. It is very painful because I don't know why we would see black and call it white because it has to do with our own person. And then we'll see white and say, no, this is black. You don't just like the whites. It is black in my eye because I'm closing my eye. And we say this as I close my eye in a darkness. So it is black because the person no consignment. And that's exactly what's going on in our country. And it is it's not just shameful, it's embarrassing. And this thing, they bring Nigeria down so much. So see people where they kidnap our mothers, children. I remember when that attack happened, people from the community did cry out and they said that indeed
Bismillah, salatu wasalam ala rasulullah. Da dai waɗannan mutanen su ne wanda
that was what they said. When this attack happened, I remember the villagers saying that what they did was that they killed all the men. Say everything with the man where they did, they killed the person. But then the mothers and children, the women, children, whether they're young children or young women, older women, they kidnapped them together with the children. And this is exactly because the Boko Haram not going to show us receipts. The terrorists then going to show us receipts of the kind of thing we they do for inside our country. Is it not too shameful? Is it not shameful that every time we try to be politically correct at the expense of the lives of human beings, because these people are humans, and maybe not all of them may survive. How many people go face the kind of harsh condition where these terrorists go put these people through, including children where they still carry for hand, toddlers? You're seeing them. And instead of our government to do the needful to make sure they do their best to bring them out and quickly, rather than first of all propaganda to deny the numbers. No wonder Congressman Chris Smith say our government they run, say Nigeria will be full of denial and lies. Now situations like this, it is not fair now. See, 2027, we have a long work to do. It's either the people really not actually change for good, and actually become sincere, understanding that their insincerity, their lack of sincerity, they affect the image of not just Nigeria generally, but Nigerians. Or then the opposition should actually do something. And I get a lot of, in fact, I don't even see oppositions and get power because they get a lot of marketing points. See Nigerian passport. What was Nigerian passport like? How was it respected in 2015 when this party took over power? And how is Nigerian passport treated today? All of these things are part of waiting a bit. They feel even you say, oh, we'll use this. But opposition, no, even they like say, then they serious self. So it is now terrorists based on these messages or these reactions when Nigerians they get. Now terrorists now the fact check our governments. The fact check our governments. They tell our government say una they lie. Hey, Lua. Now terrorists they tell our government say una too lie. No be like this to kidnap like this. We should be ashamed of ourselves. And then the worst part is that this thing now they go out for the whole world, international community go to see them. And when they see one precious saying you carry passports now day for maybe an airport for Spain, they go look at me like, are you not from the country of liars? Ah, oh Jerry, this is really painful. It's really, really painful. And until we understand the danger, what would they do to ourselves and to our unborn generation, because you see, a bad name they had to erase. Bad name they did very difficult to erase. So until we see the danger, what would they do to ourselves and our generation because of our own personal greed, and at that time we understand what we be say would they do, because it's really very painful. Well, I'm sorry for dwelling on this for too long, because it's just a bit too painful to see things happen like this, and people talk about our country in this way, and people also treat you this way. Because I feel sorry for Nigerians in the diaspora. They would even respect, other Africans above you. Why? Because of your country, where you come from. And actually our fault, say if we say them born us or any country over there inside. No, it is not our fault. But here we are. Here we are. In fact, even go fast, enter inside everything we concern politics. No wonder opposition parties in the talk say, oh, once it be say person will be inside the APC scene, you say not be seen enough. But once person will be say leave APC scene, that scene will become very sinful. And they come and will show no evidence to that conversation. But let's go straight to even something that even an APC chieftain is complaining about. The talk say even the economic reform of President Bola Tinubu is not reforming. And I'm like, oh wow, an APC chieftain is complaining. You're going to hear him talk about it in trust.
It is there in public domain. Since the coming of APC 2023, budget has never been implemented effectively, adequately, and sufficiently. We see indigenous contractors protesting day in, day out at the National Assembly and the Ministry of Finance because of non-what release of funds budgeted. 2023 budget, 2024 budget, 2025 budget, and we are not talking of 2026. So what are we talking? Where are this money channeled to? These monies obviously are channels to political juggernauts who want to succeed in 2027. It is for the first time in the history of this country we have seen a president who have started campaigning immediately he assumes office. That is prevailing, and that is very unfortunate. So obviously, as a member of APC, I am not happy, I am never comfortable with the way this presidency, this administration is running the affairs of this country. I am not palatable. I am still in the party, but I'm not palatable with the way things are gone. Budgets are not allocated. Budgets that are meant to kind of execute projects and a kind of provide services are not released. Just last week or early this week, we see the Minister of Health who said that only some few hundred millions are released, as against 219 or 200 or more billions naira that was budgeted for 2025, which is very unfortunate. Health sector is supposed to become number one. After health sector, then education, then Ministry of Defense, since we have a lot of insecurity challenges in the country. Then the next should be agriculture. Where you eat, you must eat first before you do whatever you are going to do. But we see a situation whereby the minister is coming out to say, look, we have received only few allocation. The allocation of 200 and something million naira that was released was just meant to serve as a kind of impress.
All right.
You see, thank you, Trust Television, for that video. You see, it's embarrassing. A country where one day travel tickets for the presidency surpass the money where BC then give the entire Ministry of Health for 1 year. 1 day. Is it not 1 year that they spent how many million or billion naira for tickets for travel? So international trips, they put them ahead of the health of the entire Nigerians. And you tell me that when Nigerians are saying, let Nigeria not happen to you when you're sick, Nigeria not happen to you, that Nigeria is really not that. You see, National Assembly, I don't even know what we're doing, self. I don't even understand. Because it's just painful. The only reason why they do what they do is because they have the leverage of going to countries that have made their countries work to receive healthcare. Because by the time Nigerians protest and ban them from going to other countries to receive healthcare, they would learn how to pay attention to Nigeria and all institutions in Nigeria to work. They could learn how to pay attention to things in Nigeria to work. Because how do you have over 280 something billion naira, almost 300 billion naira budgeted to the health ministry in 2025, and then you give them only 30-something million for the 1 year, 30-something million for the whole almost 300 million Nigerians to use take care of their health for 1 year. Then one day, the presidency spent almost $1 billion, how many billion for tickets to travel out of the country. 1 day, in 1 day. I just do not like to analyze stories about Nigeria. It gets very emotional. So I'm always very happy when I have guests and it comes out from them. It's painful. Nobody is saying we should revolt against government. We just want a better country. They take tax from my hand. What am I benefiting from the taxes? You're warning me now I must pay taxes. In my house where I live, for the past 2 weeks, I have been off national grid. Transformer spoiled. They said they will come and carry the transformer. They will come and fix it. For 2 weeks, I've not heard from them. 2 weeks. If not that I have inverter, I won't be able to survive. And with the heat in Nigeria, and this same government will collect tax from my hand at the end of the day. Countries where they take taxes from you, now countries ABC, they give you health care, they give your children free education, free and very good education. Light's not be problem for those countries then. But you're proud that you're implementing tax bill that you used to fund lavish lifestyles at the expense of the lives of Nigerians. God forbid anything happens to my life with government treat me for free. These are part of the things when ABC people they talk about. So it's really unfair. And this does not matter. And I think it's time that we paid attention to governance, no matter where the person comes from. That rubbish we do say if Hausa person or northern person they in power, oh, all northerners go keep quiet till Lingo. If eastern person they in power, oh, easterners go keep quiet till Lingo. If the westerners they in power, we should stop that bullshit. We should learn to call out incompetence at each time, even if now our own blood brother, even if now our mama they incompetent, make we call them out. Say, mama, you don't do this one well. It doesn't stop, it doesn't cut that blood lineage you will get. Until we begin to call, until we start calling a spade, I'm not sure say something will ever better for us. It is very unfortunate. And then this administration will tell you, please manage, you know. In fact, now they're not even saying managing again. They're not saying that everything they do, they work. All their policies are now working. It's not even managed. It's not painful baby steps again. We don't exit the era of painful baby steps. We're now in the era of the fact that everything, the reforms are now working and yielding results. Where the results are not seen. Prices of things are escalating and going high every day. Maybe rice and beans price come down a bit and Gary come down a bit, or yam. I don't even know if yam came down. But then other things are even going higher. Go and buy medication, just more supplements where you buy before. Buy them again, find out how much it be now versus how it be before. Things are going high. We're not even looking at all of these issues. Now here is an APC chieftain complaining that since 2015, APC administration, in own party, never ever implements budget to its fullest. Never ever. In your political party. In your party. Where in go swear everything to defend tomorrow. Well, make I quickly go put it through waiting another APC chair, an ADC chieftain talk about what's that happened to RFI. When he just lambasted the administration and said that when you hire Bello today, the only reason why RFI is held is because he's no longer in APC. Because if he changes to APC today, by the time you know the case will die. All the things when we hear EFCC chairman talk, say, I cannot have the moral justification to do anything, to check anybody, if I don't see RFI behind bars, or if I know hold and responsible another. How far? How markets? RFI they behind bars. Oh, it was a lie. Next thing we will hear say, oh, they were all allegations against him. Well, make a play you waiting person talk about. I'm not gonna listen.
Well, I will first start by saying that we're actually happy at the ADC because it's going to be a date where Nigerians will decide, and it's going to be a date whereby we're going to throw out the APC government, where an ADC presidential candidate will emerge winner. On the issue of the dates, I don't know what they are working on, because sometimes I used to ask myself, is INEC working hand in hand with the APC or what? Because, you know, Tinubu have lost drastical support from the North. The North doesn't like him anymore. He has done nothing for the North.
According to who?
The people. The people out there.
You have a survey that shows that
Absolutely.
The president is
the only report he gets is from his ministers, the people that work for him. They only tell him what he wants to hear. So he can send an investigators on the ground to go and search, go and do a survey. He will get to know that Nigerian people are no longer with him. They are tired with him because he have nothing to offer for the Nigerians. So in that aspect, if you look at it closely, it's about the people. This is democracy. I don't know why they choose to put it on the date during Ramadan. Is it because that he knows he's not going to get votes from the north? Now it's another strategy. So he disenfranchises people from coming out to vote. Because during Ramadan, lots of people will be concentrated on fasting, worshipping. And you have to eat, you have to be strong before you protect your votes. So what are they trying to do? So but we'll still work on it because it's about the people. Nigeria is even bigger than INEC itself. So
what are the chances that this is just a coincidence, that there is nothing strategic?
It is not a coincidence. They know what they're doing. Before they set that date, they must have looked at the calendar. They know what is going on. So it's deliberate.
Yeah, okay. So let's just take a quick look at past elections and the dates and how they coincide with the Islamic calendar itself, just to get a sense of where we're coming from and how the next general election would actually fall in line. So back in 1999, the return of the Fourth Republic, the first election was, the presidential election at least, was held on February 27, 1999. Then the re-election bid for the Obasanjo administration was some few months later, April 19, 2003. And you can see how it coincides with the Islamic calendar. And coincidentally, there is nothing that lands in Ramadan, for instance. April again in 2007, April again in 2011, then March in 2015. Of course, it was supposed to be held in February, but for the security situation, it was pushed to March of 2015. Then we returned again back to February in 2019, and then in February again of 2023. If you look at it from a dispassionate point of view, it doesn't look like INEC is trying to change its calendar. It looks like it is in sync with what has happened in the past two general elections.
You see, let me make this clear. We at the ADC, we are not worried about the time, whether if it's Ramadan or not, because the people are ready to vote them out. But INEC must do the right thing. This is about Nigerians. It's not about just INEC. And everybody have the right to he or her to cast his or her votes. So they must have to look into this. Is this something doable or not? Is it going to affect so many people from voting? If it is yes, then they have to change it. It's simple.
You think this could affect voter turnout?
In so many places it may. But the people are ready, even if they decided to say, okay, now we're going to have it, we're not going to change it. Fine. People will still vote APC out. Where's Yahya Bello now?
Still an ongoing case.
So unfortunately, as long as you are a member of the APC, you are safe. You are not corrupt. But the moment you said no, you cease to be a member of the APC, now then you are corrupt. And then they will go after
you. Will point out to how that argument is flawed, because your running mate in 2023, a running mate to Atiku Abubakar in 2023, Dr. Kwara, who crossed over to the APC, is still dealing with court cases today. So it's safe to say that joining APC does not exonerate or purify you of investigation.
Where is Okowa now?
The case is still on.
Where is he now?
Yeah, but the point is that the case is still on. He's innocent until proven guilty. That's how it works.
Why is it that it is only the ADC member that they try to crack down, arrest them and then detain them? Why? I
just pointed out that APC, there are some big players in APC that are still under investigation.
Under investigation, but they are at home freely.
Is Erufai not free?
No, he's not. We have seen it. They even tried to arrest him right from the airport.
Right. But he's still a free man now. He's still a free man, isn't he?
He has been invited to AFCC on Monday. Right. He's going there on Monday.
Right. Which is still legal. Which is legal.
We know it is legal.
Right.
But why is it just only about the ADC members? What are they afraid of? It is not democracy. We have a president who used to be a Democrat then, but now he's something else. We don't even know what he is now. Is anything wrong? How many protests has Tinubu lead? How many protests? We have so many record of what he has done in the past decades, just fighting for democracy. Why can't he allow democracy to flow? Is he afraid because these people are going to fight him, and because they are capable of removing him from power? What is he afraid of?
But this week we also saw Peter Obi join the protesters at the National Assembly. We also saw Rotimi Amici at the National Assembly protesting in respect to the amendment bill, the electoral amendment bill. Yes. Some would say that's the APC being tolerant, isn't it? There were no crackdowns.
Were they the ones that started it? It is the common Nigerian people. They only decide to join the Nigerian people. Have you forgotten 2014, 2013 when Buhari and then Tinubu and rest went out to protest because of what? Simply increment of fuel price? How much is fuel price now? The same president that said do not suffocate before. And now he's busy technically now, not even suffocating them, killing them with hunger. Everything has skyrocketed. So what we are saying is, this is democracy. If you are not afraid, allow people to run their run their politics the way they feel is to do it, or the way they feel is right for them to do. Because whatever you do, people of Nigeria are tired, and these leaders of the ADC and even the members of the ADC will make sure that people do not get to vote these people in 2027 again. Because people are tired. Nobody wants to go. Nobody wants to have another 4 years of APC. So they can keep having any governors they want, because the governors are not with the people. They are not. Go to their state, you will see what is going on.
But they say he who comes to equity must come with clean hands. So isn't it important, even for your movement as a coalition, to make sure that anyone who is accused of wrongdoing is cleared by the court of law and not by political rhetoric?
It is a way of slowing down opposition strength.
How so?
Because they know these people are capable of dragging them out.
All right, so you heard that from the ADC chieftain. He said so much. Idris Kalgo will be a chieftain of the ADC. He spoke a lot of stuff there. He did say that Tinubu government is targeting opposition, shielding all members. He also did say that the North no longer likes Tinubu anymore. So say nothing if we do, we be say good please the North anymore. So say the North, they the good book of the North anymore. He said quite a couple of other stuffs where he be say you don't hear. But then please tell me, all the things we hear on top, any of them they like say na lie? Did he lie? Let me know. Kindly help us speak holes in what he said. Which one we talk we be say na lie, and which one we talk we be say na true. Now, what other conversation have we not touched? We've touched quite a couple of other conversations. I intended to play you more of the video and reactions of, from comments around these conversations today, very, very quickly. Okay, there was this crisis in River State that I'll quickly bring to your notice before I go to my next video. A trader has been killed following a dispute at a fruit market in Port Harcourt, River State. Now, prompting tension between members of the Benue and Hausa communities in River State. The incident occurred at about 7 a.m. on Saturday today at fruit market and oil mill Rumukurushi in Obiakwa local government area of the state. Now, the altercation reportedly began when a trader asked a wheelbarrow pusher to make space for his goods. Now, according to eyewitness accounts, the wheelbarrow pusher, identified as Zakara Afaru, allegedly refused the request, leading to an argument that drew the attention of other traders and passers-by. Now, this disagreement later escalated into violence. According to the Punch newspaper, the police said that the wheelbarrow pusher allegedly stabbed the trader during the confrontation. Who is always quick to stab? That the wheelbarrow pusher stabbed the trader during the altercation, and the victim was rushed to hospital but was confirmed dead by a medical doctor. And the River State Police Command confirmed the development in a statement issued in Port Harcourt today, Saturday, by spokesperson Grace Iringekuku. So, the River State, they confirmed it. It is very sad. In the course of this agreement, and they went on, and that one can bring tension between the trader and the Benue, the trader and in fact, Benue and Hausa people fought inside River State. It almost escalated to a huge tension. This is part of the kind of division we don't be among us inside Nigeria. We will never experience before now at all. I mean, we were divided, but not at the level where we say we don't be very divided right now. And this is very sad. And I'm waiting to make what they call say, no matter what we do, we need good governance. Because it not get as we do without good government and be good governance, make it be say everything be okay. I mean, I hate to say this, but I think I had said this before, but I think I should say it again. I'm sorry to say, but I don't see any I'm not sure say Nigeria don't do this divided across ethnic and religious lines as it did divided like this. would they too divided, especially since 2023? In fact, 2023 it can't be like say the division among us can be very, very deep. What's in Kosa? Would a division this so deep before now? I mean, I grew up in Nigeria. I was born and bred up here, so I never really see this kind of hatred amongst us. Would they see Fulani? In fact, those days when we were younger, we used to like Fulani women to make our hair because they're so good in making hair. But all of a sudden, then they walk past the streets of Port Harcourt and all that. We used to see them. We used to be trying. We'll never ever know headsmen as people will be say go kill you when we see them. The way I'll see a headsman in my farm today and be scared or worried, not be say I've been there those days. So why? What thing happen where we say the division among us, don't they very deep rooted from 2015 to now? But it got worse since 2023. It got worse even amongst the Southerners. In 2023, downwards. Yes, all of those things were there before, but it can't be very, very bad and worse. When you be like say, we need to carry eyes each other. In fact, anything happen to anybody, go first find out where you from come. A situation where before you find out what I did or attend to my complaint, you first of all want to know where I come from. If I am from so place first before you go begin know how to interpret my complaint. This is really crazy. You don't build a nation with such division. So whoever it is where they lead us or people will be say they're in charge of our government, I think it's time you guys have a rethink of waiting they happen for our country and the way on the spearheaderships. We love each other. I have friends across Nigeria and we want to maintain it like that. Let's stop this division among us. All right, make I play you within a
10th Senate is under heavy pressure. In this
just for your information, this is around the budgets and also conversation around the electronic transmission of results and all of those situations. Basically,
the 10th Senate is under heavy pressure. I say that because the recent decisions, being taken by the 10th Senate, shows clearly that the 10th Senate is anti-people. The 10th Senate has chosen to be 100% rubber stamp Senate. Whatever the executive desires, that is what the 10th Senate is willing to push forward. You recall that currently the 10th Senate has, the APC in the 10th Senate has about 73 or 75 senators within their kitty. So already they have more than the two-thirds majority of the chamber. And so what it means is that the moment the executive says jump, the next question will be, how high do you want us to jump? Now, what you see over time is that the very few, in the majority will naturally have their say. And of course, the majority will have their way. So the skirmishes you hear once in a while these days stems from the fact that the minority will always have their say. In fact, in this 10th Senate, the minority does not even have a say. It is more like we're lording it over you. If you listen to Senator Nwebonyi, you hear him clearly, tell his fellow senator that I am in the majority, I'm in the ruling party, and I can as well sit over you.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that was a very unparliamentary statement. That gentleman does not have the maturity to be a senator. He's very careless with his words. He has no single respect for human being. Let me even use that word advisedly. I would have said, he has no single respect for women because he's been shown over and over that he can be quite condescending. He can be very reckless with words. He's very rude. He's uncultured and is unbecoming of a senator. He does not understand parliamentary ethics. So you see him at every turn, wherever someone who he reveres or someone who he plays to the gallery for or someone who he considers to be a benefactor, you see him go as low as possible. He's ready to fight on national television. He's ready to do whatever it takes just to show that his paymasters are happy. So what you see playing out is that normally the parliamentary practice is that minority will have their say, the majority will have their way. And in some cases where certain bills or motion or whatever it is, is pushed forward and it is in the national interest, you end up seeing that there is no minority or majority at that time. But in this particular Senate, you will see clearly that there is a clear dichotomy between the majority and the minority.
Now,
and of course,
I would want to ask what happened to dialogue at this point, having a clear and understanding dialogue, as we've seen the shouting match that really happened between David Umahi while defending the 3.4 trillion naira and Adams Oshomole, and the words that were exchanged, telling someone that I'm a senator or I'm a minister, you cannot talk to me like that. Having to put that on the table instead of facing what the issue is at hand.
So this goes back to why many people, began to push for us to go to parliamentary system. Because the parliamentary system sort of, puts everybody in check. Where both the Prime Minister or the President or whoever it is that is at the helm of affairs is also a parliamentarian. So there's always a Q&A session, so the opposition is always at their best at that time within that practice. We try to copy a few things from the UK system, but we're not practicing the parliamentary system, we're practicing the presidential system. We try to copy some things from the American system, but we're not practicing the American type of democracy. American type of democracy is more of a true federalist system.
So it's a mix and match at this point.
What we practice looks like unitary system. It looks like a democracy, but it's more like...
There's no definite...
It's very difficult to define. When former President Olusegun Obasanjo says that, no, yes, we're practicing democracy, but we must identify our democracy to be like the Nigerian type of democracy. I don't know what the Nigerian type of democracy really is, but the reality is that the politicians will choose what they want to do when it favors them. So when you hear somebody like Adams Oshomole talking about the budgets that has not even taken cognizance of roads that leads to his senatorial district, for example. We have this Abuja to Benin express road that's been ongoing since the days of President Olusegun Obasanjo. It's not completed. In fact, a greater portion of that road has failed. Some of them have been constructed over and over and over. Between Kotonkarfi and in Kogi State, between Kotonkarfi and the border of Edo State, Okpela, is unmotorable.
Definitely.
In 2026, and we have a works minister. Their priority today is the coastal road for whatever is worth. Now, many governors have begun to play politics with it in the name of that and that. But they forget that they have just barely 1 year to go. You cannot start a project that you cannot complete. There is no guarantee you will complete that project when another government comes.
Okay, so this is just the tip of the iceberg, by the way. And before I play or talk about another thing we say talk, did I hear him talk about distinguished senator Weboy? He said he know they on cool, they befitting to be a senator. He's ready to satisfy his paymasters. Are you talking about a distinguished? You mean distinguished senator Weboy that was standing up for his Oga Omahi? Do you know that Omahi made him who he is? Are you saying that when somebody wants to insult Omahi or anything, we get to affect Omahi, making no put mouth, he don't even want to see what he talk. Remember the thing we open mouth, tell Obi Ezekwesili for inside this life, irrespective of what Obi Ezekwesili be, doesn't even matter. But with what he said about Weboy, do you think it's true that he doesn't respect women, he doesn't respect elders, he has respect for nobody as long as he not be in direct pay master? You don't talk to me like that. I'm a principal officer of the Senate. You cannot talk about me distinguished senator. Yeah. Wait, now Weboy, you tell all those things. Look, I just play a tip of the iceberg for that conversation. We happened earlier this week. For inside that a committee.
I will shout at you. I can preside over this over you.
You can't.
I talk for 5 minutes.
You cannot.
But somebody talk for 15 minutes.
I'm also a prisoner.
Stop with that, please. I can preside over this city.
You can't.
That is the protocol.
No, you can't.
Thank you.
I'm also a principal officer.
You can't say so.
You're
under me.
You're bootlicking your
What is
boss.
for 15 minutes?
You're
And I'm talking for 5 minutes.
You're bootlicking.
Don't tell me that, please.
You're bootlicking. You're bootlicking.
All right, he spoke a lot and a lot and a lot. Now, because saying the principal officer, I can preside over you. I can do this over you. Ah, God, I beg God. Nigerians say, can I beg you guys for something? Can we have a deal in Nigeria where every 4 years, let's vote opposition? Every 4 years. No matter, no, just a vote opposition. Because if you don't vote opposition, you don't even know how bad the ones who you don't vote into power day. If you don't vote opposition, I mean, if Buhari never won this election, if you didn't win the 2015 election, for things say, Nigerians miss an incorruptible man when no get stained like this, who for help us pursue corruption, do how many who for not ever believe say Nigeria would have been the way it was under President Bola Tinubu. And perhaps if Tinubu did not win, under Muhammadu Buhari, and perhaps if Tinubu did not win the election, would have said, Nigeria for turn to London, the way Lagos to London. Oh, we missed the opportunity to vote one man that would have given us a London in Nigeria. But alas, we voted him and we've seen it. And it is time for us to also try somebody else. And when we try that person, the person will also vote somebody else. I think not only with oppositions, and when they vote oppositions, now we will feel they tame the attitude of some of these people there. And they make a law, say maybe they need a pot from one party to the other. So we would always vote opposition, then they know go feel pots. So that for our 4 years, they know they go maybe a year win, and they know go feel pots. Look, expose all their detailing. Well, let me take you more to what the guest said on that.
And the House of Reps, you can pick out 1, 2, 3, or 4. At best, if you combine the two chambers, you can probably pick maybe maximum of 20 members of the Senate and the House of Reps, whom you know that okay, yes, this one's abducted is owned, can represent himself. Majority of the people you see there have no clue. Listen to listen to them when they present their motions. You see corrections. Even the Senate president, many times he makes mistakes. I've heard Senator Ndume on a regular basis correct the Senate president on votes and proceedings. Why? Senator Ndume is one of the oldest senators in the chamber. In fact, he's been in the National Assembly since 2003. So, when you talk about parliamentary practice, ethics, there are few that understand it. Then there are a few of them also who you can, vouch that these people have employed research teams within their fold. Because you see, parliamentary business is about research. That's why you see people like somebody like Adams Oshomole, most of the time when he speaks from a point of knowledge, from a place of deep research. That's why you see him whenever he poses questions, it's as if it's confrontational. Why? Because he does his homework well. That's why sometimes some of us are really a bit disappointed with him because we expect more from him. He's quite cerebral, right? And he's someone who you know that if he's on your side, definitely you will get the right dividend. But unfortunately, we play more politics in Nigeria, and especially at the National Assembly, than we even consider the generality of the populace. So if you look critically at the budget defense so far, you will see clearly that a lot of the things that has been said has nothing to do with me and you. A lot of the things that is out there has nothing to do with me and you. And it's one thing to budget. It's another thing for the president to tell the minister of finance to release the money. Nigeria will make all the money they need to make. NRA says their plan is to raise 40 trillion from taxes this year. What is the total budget for this year? Just from taxes alone, their target is 40 trillion. In 2025, they claim they raised, is it 30 trillion or 20 something trillion? Well, it remains to be seen. And don't forget that 40 trillion is going to come from you. from you.
And if we can remember, at a point the president last year said that all the targets have been met, and at the end of the day it has seemed that borrowing here, loans there, and all of that. And aside from that, with the tax reform, the collection of tax is going to happen, and obviously a lot of funds would be collected, a lot of tax will be collected. Now, how or where do you think these monies go, and how come Nigeria at the end of the day is way behind when it comes to funds? And I'm coupling a lot of questions.
Yes, and there's still another one that is not being talked about
at this point. And then when it comes to accountability, do you think that in probing there is favoritism?
Oh, absolutely. Whatever the president has interest in will be funded 100%. Whatever the president is not very comfortable with, or maybe feels is not, within his scale of 1, 2, they defer. So, for example, health is a major for the populace. You hear that the budget for this health only received 35 million. National budget for health received 35 million for a fiscal year. That tells you where the interest of the administration is. That's one. Two, to your question, the reality is that our budgetary allocations is one thing. The releases is a different kettle of fish entirely. So the administration copied the coordinating minister of the economy from the Jonathan administration without understanding the pedigree of the person that held that position before and what that person probably did. The idea behind the coordinating minister of the economy is for economic growth and economic stabilization. All right? So that's one angle. But in this case, the coordinator of the economy within this administration, and I stand to be corrected, is more like to determine when and who gets what at what time. Last year, the president openly said that they've received all the revenue they need for the year. I think it was around August or July. Only for the same economic minister to come and tell us that they've only received 10% of the revenues they desire. We don't know who is telling the truth. I would rather believe the coordinating minister, because he's the one that receives
the helmet.
He's the one that receives the money. On one hand, I also would want to believe the president, because he was the one that was elected, and the buck stops at the stable. But unfortunately, we run an elitist government. Okay, it's the government of the elite for the elite by the elite. It's not the government that is interested in you and I, because if it is, the government will prioritize road construction that carries more people. The government will prioritize health care access. All right? The government will prioritize the basic needs of the populace. Unfortunately, what and where you see the government voting and releasing funds to is one, vehicles for the National Assembly every year, every 2 years. Vehicles.
Wow. So they would rather give vehicles for Aso Rock, National Assembly, office of this, office of that, top ministries, than release money for education, for health, for security, for the things we say get to do with you and I and our welfare. I mean, that tells you where the loyalty of government really lies, and waiting if we say them once. Based on this explanation, I have a lot more to say, but phone lines are open, Nigerians. Please do call in to let us know what you think about these situations and more. The platform to call, the line to call, 08170294077. That's the number to call, 08170294077. And of course, if you're inside the pinned post, I go pin it right now for inside the comment section so that you can call. Now, let me also take one more last thing where we see this guest speak on, because I really did enjoy almost everything that he said in that conversation, in that on that breakfast show. So take a listen to what listening to again.
That there's a lot of poor internet connectivity in Nigeria.
I don't know when they became technological experts. There is no part of Nigeria today that you do not have network. There is no part of Nigeria. For God's sake, there is Starlink. Starlink is not a broadband internet system. It is an, what do you call it? It's a satellite-based system. INEC can deploy Starlink. Look at the budget INEC is pushing for the election.
Billions.
Look at the budget INEC is pushing. In fact, it was amazing to hear that INEC was planning to build a hospital for INEC staff within their budget. It took Senator Adams Oshomole, who in some, most of the time he's quite eloquent. He's quite studious when it comes to certain things. But sometimes you see him, he chooses not to speak. It took Senator Adams Oshomole for us to know that the Independent National Electoral Commission was planning to build a hospital for INEC staff in Abuja. And I was happy to hear some of the questions Senator Adams Oshomole asked the Senate team, the INEC team. It is not your mandate to build hospitals. So if you build a hospital in Abuja, your staff in Ekpoma or in Benin City, if they fall sick, will you ferry them to Abuja to be treated, or is the hospital squarely for INEC staff in Abuja? So you must have what you call interagency dependence. There is the Ministry of Health. There are hospitals in the FCT. What stops INEC from creating a medical insurance for their team and send them to the best hospitals if that is what they desire? Why waste taxpayers' money? What you see going on in Nigeria today is what one of my friends has called budgetary sploshing, where every year you see the same budgetary allocation for the same thing. It is only in Nigeria that government buys vehicles every year. It is only in Nigeria that government buys computers every year. It is only in Nigeria that government buys furniture every year. Only in Nigeria. We use vehicles once a year. The following year we buy the same set of vehicles. Go and take a look at the budget of 2020, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. You'll be shocked to see the same number of vehicles replicated every year.
Then what happens to the vehicles that were...
That is where the National Assembly is failing, because the National Assembly has the power of oversight. I've not seen the National Assembly sit with the
budget not being fulfilled or being shortchanged when it comes to acquire or being given the budget. Now, looking at what is going on, as you mentioned, every year there's duplicity when it comes to the figures in the budget, and aside from that we have padding as well, and aside from that in some cases there increase in funds that are not necessary to be increased. Now, how is it possible to be able to track what is needed to be done when it comes to the budget, allocation of those budgets, and making sure that those funds reach the people or the ministries or departments or agencies that need to get those funds in order for the work to be done, and then overseeing all the contracts? That is where we get a lot of issues in allocating contracts and not being able to keep up in having accountability, transparency, supervision. And supervision and overseeing everything that is going on.
So you see, the major problem we've had over the years in Nigeria is that we've continued this envelope system. The envelope system makes it impossible for you to have foolproof implementation. One of the things I give to our very good friend, whom we love to hate, is Inyesomwike. Is that there's something about him that you like, but there's quite a lot. His politics might not be good, but when it comes to certain things, he's quite good at it. He's one person who sat down and said that, look, that one of the reasons the government or several governments are unable to start projects and finish is because of their budgeting system. He said you cannot budget for a 100-kilometer road and you have a 4-year tenure, and in year 1 you budget 25%. The mobilization to site will take almost 50%. Just mobilization to site. Why give the contractor 25%? Then the contractor will fail. So you see that most of his projects, he gives heavy advance payments, then gives very crazy timeline. And he's one of the few administrators you see that will give a contract and give a timeline for completion and consistently following up. Maybe because of the politics he plays, he tries to make sure that he blocks that area. I'm using him as an example, which many people may not like, but that is the truth. That is our truth. We run an envelope system in Nigeria, and President Tinubu's administration has even made it more cumbersome. Don't forget that in 2026, as we sit today, we are running 3 budget cycles. 24, 25, and 26 budgets. That's what we're running right now. And I haven't heard any of the senators.
All right, so what he was about to say is what I've also been saying. Why opposition parties maybe talk about them extensively? Will you run about 3? Okay, well, Peter Obi has hammered on it over and over again. Next thing they go call on bad belly. We'll go run the 2023 budget, the 2023 budget, the 2023 what is the one with the add on top, I've forgotten that name now, the 2024 budget and the 25. We'll just run different budgets in 1 year. And it doesn't really mean anything. But I just thought to throw light on that conversation so that we understand what's going to go on more for inside the country. But then I did tell you earlier that Peter Obi had threatened and said this time around for inside this 2027 election, no rigging at all. Say anybody will try rig, once you carry your eyes here, make you take up. Did I also tell you that Oga Christopher Musa went to Abia State and he was hailing Alex Oti. He said, say he don't see things praising Abia State governor, but that if that as seen reach, say the changes when you see did very visible. But after my recent visit, I can confirm firsthand that the transformation is real and not just noise in Abia State. That's what Christopher Musa said. For those of you who's been to Abia State recently, I do not know, but I'd love you to also speak up about this. But then very quickly, before I play you that video of Peter Obi, as Peter Obi go Akwa Ibom State today to go inaugurate as the obedience movement and for inside Akwa Ibom State join the ADC for inside Akwa Ibom State. Make I quickly tell you waiting and a journalist for talk. So a new investigative report by the Daily Mail has shown fresh international attention in Nigeria's Middle Belt, as British journalist David Patrick Caracos details what he described as coordinated attacks on predominantly Christian communities in Plateau State. Say the attacks they coordinated on predominantly Christian communities in Plateau State. Now, in February 14, 2026, today, Valentine's Day publication, Patrick Caracos said he traveled to frontline settlements, including Gwet, where he reported seeing charred homes, burned churches, and displaced families forced to flee their ancestral homes. Now, according to the report, survivors recounted how armed attackers stormed their communities, carrying out brutal assaults. One account he wrote was repeated by residents that said that pastor and his wife were burned alive inside their church. That a pastor and his wife were burnt alive inside their church. Now, the article described widespread devastation across affected areas, including churches allegedly set ablaze during raids, farmlands destroyed, worsening food insecurity, and entire families reportedly killed in coordinated attacks. Several villages were said to have been deserted as residents fled for the violence. Now, Patrick Caracas said he moved through the affected communities under armed escort, portraying the Middle Belt as long-standing fault line of ethnic and religious tensions and cleansing. Now, the report attributed the violence to armed Fulani militant elements operating in the region and warned that the crisis continues to deepen Nigeria's security challenges. Churches burned, fields destroyed, and farmlands destroyed, families slaughtered. The Nigerian Christians brutalized by jihadists, and the horrors I saw on the front lines but so in right for inside the report. And people can't talk about this one. Say, but I think say all this one na propaganda. I thought they said it was just deliberate propaganda against this administration. So that means some foreigners can actually come and make a report and see that indeed there are people who are actually being killed in real time, and there is actually a targeted attack on particular group of people. Well, Nigerians phone line 0.081702940777, or you follow the link on the pin post and get straight into the studio to join the conversation. So make I let you know waiting Peter Obi talk very, very quickly. So the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has warned that anyone who refuses to count votes in the upcoming 2027 general election will be counted, as he addressed supporters in Akwa Ibom State today. Now, Obi arrived in Akwa Ibom State today, Saturday, where the Akwa Ibom State Obedient Movement officially joined the African Democratic Congress (ADC). All 31 Labour Party chapter chairmen in the state reportedly moved en masse to the ADC in full support of Peter Obi. Oh, see how Kit is looking with his Akwa Ibom cap. Oh, sorry, he's their son-in-law. Speaking in an ongoing obedience conference in Oyo, the state capital, Obi declared in 2027, if we don't count it, we will count the person. So he said. Now, the former presidential candidate statement reflects rising tensions over electoral transparency in the country as Nigerians gears up for the 2027 election. But first of all, before I play it, I go show you how people use welcome and the excitement we will get in this. All right, so that's the excitement. You can see the excitement that they felt or that they had while they were trying to welcome him, or where they were talking about him for inside that place. I beg, kindly like and share this program. If this is your first time of joining us, don't forget to click on the subscription button, because subscription are free. You know what? You need to pay money to subscribe, so they're free of charge to subscribe. But yeah, so you see the excitement around them when Ibi said they welcome him. And the way he was talking to them, it was actually a great celebration. People thought it was today.
Obedience! We move! Obedience! We move! Obedience! We move! Ladies and gentlemen, with a clapping ovation, we just have our principal walking here with his entourage. He has been a one-time presidential candidate under the Labour Party. He has been a one-time governor of Anambra State. We are privileged to have in Akwa Ibom State, the land of promise, His Excellency, Mr. Peter Obi! ADC! A new Nigeria is possible! Ladies and gentlemen, while he's still exchanging pleasantry, if you are here on this venue, I want you to take a picture of yourself and tweet it. Go to the Twitter and tweet Peter Obi is in Akwa Ibom. I want the Twitter space to be flooded with this event right now. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause again. Thank you very much. Hashtag ADC for Akwa Ibom State. Ladies and gentlemen, please, for the benefit of having this august visitor here, our principal is...
All right, so yeah, that was Peter Obi in Akwa Ibom State earlier today, and where Ibise made that statement, where Ibise don't go viral and wait a lot of people they talk about, because for inside that statement, it talks say people when they talk, say wait, what? This is not the Peter Obi they used to know. That he used to be a lot calm and gentle and no one problem. Why you can't bring this violence level we bring now? We could show it in a talk like he's here.
In 2027, if they don't count it, we count the person. In that polling booth, in 2027, if they don't count it, we count the person.
All right, so the first time people will see Peter Obi actually speak this way, so if they don't count it in 2027, we'll count that person. Well, that's the size of our package this evening. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's joined us. Please kindly click on the subscription button if this is your first time of joining us and you're yet to subscribe. Even if you be a returning member, I beg, and you never subscribe, why? There is God, though. There is God in everything we do, or you're just subscribed for no reason. And if you haven't liked this post, again, I put down your tithe and offering, maybe your like and share. So kindly share, subscribe this post. Let's continue to speak for the growth and development of our nation. And for those of you who think that we're perhaps just yearning here and not talking, our talk they reach people here and they take action and they see our talk. Now part of the anger and the things they want to talk now Oga be here say, oh, saying they no pass electronics, people don't they talk for social media, they don't they hold tables, they talk and all that. They hear what you say, and let's keep talking for the growth. What we want and the good of our country. I don't think that's an offense. It's not reasonable to want the good of your country. So let's continue to speak for the good and development of our nation. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow evening with Prince Francis Chilaka. Protect your mental health. Good night and God bless you. Thank you.